I'm joined today by Simone of the Go team. She's recently been on tour in Japan and the USA. And I suppose the first thing I have to ask is, what was your favourite memory?
It was all mental, so it was all hectic, busy, tight schedules, learning millions of songs. But my favourite memory was from Japan. So we played a gig at the bottom of Mount Fuji, which was, yeah, it was good. It was good. So basically, I was sat behind my kit, and all I could see was a sea of people, and then just Mount Fuji in the background. And they'd laid out the festival, so there were just lights perfectly in line across the back in all different colours. So that's my favourite memory.
Wow,
yeah.
that sounds insane.
Yeah, Japan is nuts. Just so you know.
So I suppose on a big tour like that, it must get a bit stressful.
Yeah, it's stressful. I mean, you spend most of your time in a moving vehicle, so you'll be on a plane or in a car or in a van or sleeping in a van. So you kind of have to adjust to travelling. I think the thing to remember about touring is you're not always playing. You're playing one gig for an hour, 2 hours, and the rest of the time you're travelling. So it can be stressful, but if you're around good people, then it's fun mainly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's the secret to keeping it together?
I think communication. If you have a problem with something or someone, just tell them. Don't let things build up to the point where you're on stage and it's affecting how you play. I think for me, you're in a band with 6 people, 7 people, and they're all completely different personalities. I think it's just being honest, and if something has happened, just say, look, I wasn't happy with this the other night, or you said this and it kind of upset me. But at the same time, if someone is doing something well, praise them. We all love praise. So I think if someone played a wicked gig, or if someone did something for you that was really helpful, help me set up my kit, or do you know what I mean, chuck me a stick when I've dropped one. I think just little things like that, I think praise can help as well, build people's spirits. So yeah, communication really, definitely.
You started on your own before, of course, the Go team.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a young musician starting on their own?
I would say sticking at it. I think for me, remembering why you originally wanted to play an instrument. I think remembering that you couldn't wait to go home and sit behind your drums or plug in your bass or pick up a mic and just sing in the mirror. I think remembering why you started, for me, is important. Sometimes it can be exhausting. You'll be in a plane, you'll be like, right, I just want to be in my bed now with a cup of tea, watching Dexter. But you need to remember why it is that you started. Practice, definitely. Practice. I still practice now, or try to, when I can. But just remembering why you played, and just that passion, and just keeping that in the back of your mind. Things can be exhausting and things can be tiring, but as long as you're just remembering why it is you started playing, then that helps me a lot. Yeah. I
mean, you've achieved great success now, and from that you've got Natal now as your drum sponsor. How was that for you?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's I think the highlight of my year.
I went through their website and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
The musicians, I was like, wow.
Their kits are good, their artists are good, and I think the relationship that they have with their artists is amazing. That's why really I wanted to join. But I played a gig in Spain with a guy called Jamie. He plays for the Stereophonics, and he basically saw me play and just said, look, I know a guy from Natal, you're looking for a kit, let me put you in touch. And I met George Fredericks in Milton Keynes, and he was amazing. So yeah, it just came from a gig and just communication, again, talking to someone, and it stemmed from there, and now I've got this kit, which is great. Yeah.
Do you like it though? Yeah.
I love my kit. That's why it's here. I love my kit. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Sounds great. Looks great. They're my favourite colours as well. So yeah, I'm very happy.
It looks really nice.
Thanks.
Nice. So women are seen to have maybe a bit of a disadvantage going into the modern music worlds. Have you ever experienced anything like this yourself?
I think for me, yes. I mean, a lot of the time I'll get called a female drummer. I'm not a drummer, I'm a female drummer, which for me is a pet hate. I'm a drummer. Okay. I don't, I'm not any different to all of my other male friends that play drums. We're drummers. I think for me, I've been to auditions where they've picked me because I'm a female, and I've been to auditions, big auditions where they've not picked me purely because I'm a female. And I think for me, I just want to be seen as a drummer. There is still that thing oh, female drummers aren't that good. It's just rubbish. You're a drummer, and that's that. So it definitely still exists. I think as well in the media, movies like Whiplash, so the drum movie, the only female role in that movie was his girlfriend, who he basically then palmed off because he wanted to play drums. I think things like that, don't really help. Great movie, but could have been a better female role. It definitely still exists. It's improving, but for me, I still find a lot of stigma around that. There's a magazine out there called Tom Tom magazine. It's the only magazine to write about female drummers, which is really important because when I started playing and when I was a teenager and watching drummers on TV or reading about drummers, they were all male, and this magazine is now out there for not necessarily just young female drummers, but for them to pick up and read and have those inspirations that I didn't necessarily have. And like they cover women from around the world. It's not just women in media. They cover, they write about young.
You've been featured.
I have been. Yeah, I'm in there somewhere. So I'm in it. There's a drummer in there who's 11. There's percussionists. They write about women that are pregnant and want to play drums. So it's kind of this whole thing, and it's wicked. So just that magazine alone, I think, is helping to push towards something better for drummers, not just female drummers in general. So yeah, definitely.
Yes. So talking about image, how did you get yourself noticed by the Go team? A video on YouTube of me that took my friend, I'm going to say, 24 hours to make on her PC, that was blowing up while she was making it. I basically did a video kind of similar to this, like an interview, and then just a clip of me playing a couple of things. Ian in the band, he's like the head of the band, and he was searching for a new drummer, a local one. He happens to live in Brighton, and he was just looking on YouTube, and my video came up, my awful made video, and he just sent me an email from it. Literally YouTube. That's where he found me, on YouTube, yeah. So just putting yourself out there?
Yeah, I tried. But there's only one video and it's awful. So I don't know why. I don't know why he picked me. But yeah, there was only one video. I was kind of like, okay, let's make a Tumblr, let's make a Twitter, and there's all these other things I could do, and he saw that. So that was a great first impression, yeah.
So, live performances. What advice would you give to somebody who maybe lacks in confidence?
I think the key to building it up is to keep doing it, as hard as that might seem. Going out in front of people, like, I'm camera shy, like right now this is hard for me. I think putting yourself in situations where you do feel uncomfortable is important, and getting used to them. So I'd say keep doing it. Practicing and knowing stuff before you go on stage is important, so you think, right, I know the content, I've got that, and it's just overcoming the nerves. There are loads of coaches and tutorials online to help you with your nerves, but I think for me, what's helped me is putting myself in that situation and being persistent and continuing to put myself in that situation until I'm like, okay, I can do it, and that was okay. I think that would be my advice.
That's great. So, what's your biggest achievement so far as a drummer?
God, I'd say this tour. I'd say for me, my endorsement that's really important to me. It's something, when I first started playing, I was like, God, wouldn't it be great to get a drum kit from a company to tour with? And it's that right there.
Yeah.
So that for me, I'm still buzzing from. But touring, again, going back to when I was a kid and I wanted to play drums, I was like, I didn't care about all the tiny ins and outs and auditions and media and Twitter. I just wanted to sit down and just play drums and annoy my mum, and then play it again. So for me, being able to do that as a job in front of people and for people to appreciate it, I think that's my biggest achievement. Yeah.
That's great. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no worries. You've been delightful.
Thank you very much. I'm Simone, and you've been watching Marmalade Sessions.